is upon us, and a lot of people in the council have already gone live. So actually, as of today, well, I'll go into that in just a second. That's part of the presentation later on. Just kind of give you a short background. This is a little PowerPoint presentation I'm going to show, but it's just about 14 slides, and it goes really quick. Just to give you the background of how we got there. Commissioner Tools and Unit Service Plan. These are two things that go together, and I'll explain what that is. Everybody here probably knows what Unit Service Plan is. But the National Commissioner Service Team in about 2012 decided that they looked at all the job descriptions and all the things in the manuals, and there was about 20 to 35 tasks that a unit commissioner was supposed to do. And it wasn't very succinct. Someone couldn't look at that and go, oh, I can do that job easily. It was just overwhelming. Now, there are more jobs to do, but we kind of narrowed it down. The Commissioner Task Force kind of decided with TICO's support that we wanted to narrow it down to 4 areas. And that would be supporting unit growth through the Journey to Excellence program, very, very important and key part of unit success. Contacting units and capturing their strengths and needs in Commissioner Tools. And of course, if you're still on Unit Visit Tracking System, Unit Visit Tracking System will be on there. And most of the nation is still, 80%, 90% of the nation is still under Unit Visit Tracking System. Linking unit needs to district operating committee resources. That's always been the function of the commissioner, is to make sure that they bring successes, challenges to the district operating committee, and they can help that unit fix that problem. And that's where the unit service plan comes in. A unit service plan is developed by the commissioner staff based on the needs and the strengths they find from the unit, and they help develop a unit service plan that they are assisted with by the district committee or whoever else needs to assist with that plan. The fourth part is supporting timely charter renewal. And of course, charter renewal at some point in time will be part of Commissioner Tools. It isn't yet, but it is in, I think it's actually in phase 2, but don't quote me on that. That's what I've heard, which means that that functionality will be right there on top, which is great. So pretty much all of our resources have been replaced with these 4 functions, and Commissioner Tools is part of this simplified and unified method of these 4 things. So Commissioner Tools is basically based on some of the things here. So a Commissioner Tools task force was put together, and this was about a year and a half ago, I guess. There was a meeting in the Northeast region, and it was a commissioner college. TICO was invited. TICO was the keynote speaker. TICO spoke. Then a bunch of area commissioners, council commissioners, well, I guess only a couple council commissioners, and a few district commissioners cornered TICO and said, TICO, we're sick and tired of Unit Visit Tracking System. We've got to figure out a way to replace it. So TICO threw it back on them and said, well, listen, let's get a task force together and let's see what we can do to replace Unit Visit Tracking System with a tool that is effective, that unit commissioners can use. And if we have unit commissioners on this task force and council commissioners and district commissioners from all across the nation, we pull out best methods and can come up with a tool that's effective for everybody to use that will help the commissioners as opposed to hinder them with the slow Unit Visit Tracking System that we currently have. So the unit service plan, well, obviously a part of that is, and that's always, that's been around forever. This is nothing new. Unit service plan is basically a key element of Commissioner Tool design. So it's basically seek and discover, and then take all that material and develop it into a unit service plan. Of course, there's some units out there that don't really need much of a unit service plan. They're good units. They're really strong units, and through those units, we can learn some best methods that we can share with other units. So there's always a part of the service plan. It doesn't always have to be something they're working on. It could be something that we want to share with others as well. It replaces all other unit assessments. And that's part of the Commissioner Tools. So all the unit assessments, there's some on the membership validation procedures, the unit assessments, those are all going to be replaced by the actual online questions that are in Commissioner Tools. That's already been done for 2015. And those are going to be posted. I sent them to the web people to be posted, should be anytime this week or next week. They're going to be fillable forms that you can use. If you don't have the computer, you can print them out, fill out all the information, and do the same functionality as if you didn't have a computer. So, enable collaborative unit health assessments. So that means you're working with the unit leaders, the key 3 of the unit, as well as the unit commissioner, that you're working together to develop this unit service plan. And I'll show you how that works. Enables service customized to unit needs. That's the unit service plan. And then supports all 4 elements of excellent unit service. And that's where JT kind of loops back in. So in supporting and sustaining units, here's kind of what we look at as right now as far as how we track the health of a unit. They have a unit self-assessment that we're supposed to do at least twice a year. And there's also unit health review forms, the annual service plan that we can put together with the unit as well. And then, of course, right now we have unit visit tracking system. So they go back through and look at the logs of the unit, what you've seen with the unit, and that's how we develop that unit service plan. And see, all these are going away now, because now Commissioner Tools has all of this stuff ingrained in it. With printable reports that prints all this stuff out, any kind of way you want to extract the data into Excel spreadsheets. So those people that really like that kind of stuff and that analysis kind of stuff, it's for that in just a second. So here's kind of what we measure. This is kind of how this whole thing was developed. Districts and council measure finance, membership, programming, and service leadership and governance. Basically those 5 things. Those are part of the JT standards as well. And so here's what PACS troops and crews measure. All these things, they're all basically worked into program, training, leadership and governance, and program. Those are the 4 main areas that we look at when we're trying to see the health of a Cub Scout Pack, Boy Scout troop, or crew. And these, like I said, these all come basically from the some JTE. So then this is how the unit service plan would work. Obviously, it'd be a unit assessment, and that would be taking all the information you have, even if, you may have Boys of the Scout stuff that you could use as well, but from the individual assessments you've done with the unit leaders, with what the commissioner visits have found out, with all the data you can extrapolate, you can find out how you can assess the unit. From that, you develop a unit service plan. That unit service plan is developed with the unit key 3. That's the most important part. So you sit down with unit key 3, they share what they think that their unit's like, and you share what you think. And that's how you develop the unit service plan. From that, the unit service plan, all that information is taken, and they decide what district commitment, what district help is needed to help accomplish this unit service plan. And at that point, the unit commissioner may have passed it all off. He may still be involved directly with it, depends on what it is or their expertise. We want the unit commissioner just to be working on those 4 main things, right? We don't want them to be a subject matter expert in stuff that the district committee could be doing. But sometimes it happens like that, I understand. And then, of course, the implementation, which is the end process of the unit service plan. And then it just cycles back on around. JTE standards for 2015 have you guys seen those? The JTE 2015 standards? They've taken out 3-to-1 ratio is out. It's not, it's a lagging indicator. I mean, it's great to have that many people, but it really doesn't support unit health and unit service. So that's out the window. Our commissioner service team sat down with the JTE folks and said, this is what we want. 2 contacts a year is the other one, and that's where you do, and I'll show you the detailed assessment here in a second. And the rest of that is just 6 individualized assessments. You have to do a certain percentage of units to get gold, silver, and bronze. But make sure you go and look at the detail of that under the unit service functions for the district. So here's the Commissioner Tools overview. There's, like I said, multiple releases scheduled. There's going to be, throughout this process, we've had so much creep. If you got to understand what creep is when you're working with a tool like this, an online tool, the creep has been horrible. So we've got these passionate volunteers that have IT experience that have developed programs like this before. And so they said, well, wouldn't it be nice to have this? Wouldn't it be nice to have this? Wouldn't it be nice to have this? So we've creeped along the way, and we didn't release it in March. That's when we originally said we were going to release it, March of 2014. Well, it really didn't actually release until toward the end of the summer. The first couple councils took it on. There were the beta councils. But people are still wanting to add stuff. We go, no, that'll be version 2 or 3. We need to release this thing. And Tico said that too. Stop right now. Let's release what we got. Let's get it out to the field. Let's take UBTS out of the system, and let's go with something that's going to work. So the current status of the development, there's currently about a little over 20 councils that are live with Commissioner Tools. Those aren't all beta councils. About half of those are beta councils, and the other half are just councils that said, we want Commissioner Tools now, and they're doing it. So there's a whole bunch more councils that'll come on December 1st. The first of the month is when we want you to come on, and of course, January 1st, February, and then March. Those are the only days we have scheduled right now. There's been talk that after March, everybody has to go on. But that's just been talk, so I don't know. It'll depend on how we are at that point in time. But if you see the council commissioner and the Scout executive release form of when you want to actually adopt Commissioner Tools, those are the dates that are on there. It goes through March the 1st. Reports and dashboards, just incredible amount of reports and dashboards that are available based on what is entered into the system. And of course, there's the live feed material that comes from all the training data from the units, number of commissioner visits. I'll show you all how to go on. Scoring matrix and detailed assessments. So it actually tells you, you can see all the detailed stuff of everything that's going on. Here's the key concepts of the Commissioner Tools that was developed. The Just For thing as well that I talked about, supporting units journey to excellence. All the questions embedded in here are all JTE questions that are straight off the sheet from Pack Troop and Crew. You'll notice that right off the bat. We've added a couple other ones that we know are things that show unit strength. Recording unit contact strength, linking unit needs, that's what I've talked about before. Timely charter renewal, that's the 4 things again. And the journey to excellence unit service fund. Those are the key concepts that we did use to develop Commissioner Tools. And then data collection and information reporting. Okay, these are some of the dashboards that are going to be available. On the left-hand side of the reports, so you can see the different reports that are going to be available. There'll be more as we get more, as ScoutNet transfers over to Akela, which is the new operating system that we're going to be using, where all volunteers will be able to see all records, district totals reports, all the reports that he saw before. Volunteers will be able to see, but it'll look a lot better, I'm sure, because it's a different platform. And then these are the dashboards. So these dashboards will pop up and actually show you, but when you first go on the system's going to be blank, except for the stuff that's moved over, the training records, youth protection training, the number of kids in the unit, that live data that's fed over to Commissioner Tools. The rest of that, you don't get the dashboards until you start entering business. So anyway, just let y'all look at that briefly for a second. And then here's the exception reports that it'll print out as well. And once again, just like at MyScouting, myscouting.org, under the training manager, if you're the key 3, that's above that unit, you can change the training actually for those individuals in that unit. Same thing going up to the district level. You'll be able to change that information. You'll be able to fix email addresses and profiles if you're the key 3 above. So there's a lot of things that can be fixed now in the system that doesn't have to go through the registrar. But then, of course, you don't want people handling this stuff that isn't going to do it properly. So, there are some faults in anything, but this is a totally volunteer-run, professionally guided activity. And that's what we're going to talk about this whole thing. These group of volunteers, and there's about 14 volunteers across the United States that I work with. I'm the only field service professional that's ever been in the field that's working with this group. And we do weekly calls all the way since last 2013. We started meeting in September. We meet every single week to talk about things that are going on and how the tool is being accepted and things that we need to fix and resources and tools that are actually on the web. And there's about 3 people from IDG that are in there. But this is truly, and it's one of the first ones that's ever happened like this, where it's a volunteer-run, professionally guided program. So just want to make sure that you guys understand it. And it's been rough at times too. So this is how the unit assessment scoring matrix works out. It's a 1-to-5 ratio, 5 being high, and that's going to be in the green. And then when you see the dashboard stuff, the green will light up if they're rated 5. The rating system is based on the last rating that was done for that unit. So if it was a simple assessment, that's the little circle that's going to pop up. And I really can't tell you until I get into the tools. I'm going to demo that in just a second. So you can read the rest. It goes down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's no in-betweens in there. And this will pop up in red if the unit has been assessed at red, and that'll circulate on up to the district key 3 as well as the council key 3. They'll see all units that are in that bad shape. So that's the tool overview that I just wanted to share with you. Now I'm going to show you the demo, which I'm sure this is what you really want to see. So Pat can get me on there. I'll show you this first if you want. Let me show you. I'll show the tools first. Okay, so this is all intuitive stuff. So what we wanted people to do initially was to go in there, learn the system, just seek and explore. Just all applications now are kind of seek and explore and figure it out on your own. But we realized that there's going to be some things on there that people are going to need, and then, initially that are going to be a little bit fearful until they get on there. So we provided all of this plethora of training material that's up here. So if you can scroll down toward the bottom, or just kind of scroll up to when councils can switch. These are all basically the tools, and the PowerPoint I showed tonight, I cut out like a bunch of the slides. This actually has Commissioner Tools PowerPoint presentation, has screenshots of all the stuff I'm going to show you. So you can actually go on there and it has explanations on what everything does. So if you want to train other people, that's all right there for you. The other part that's important is the Q&A, frequently asked questions. That's all on there as well. I'm sure you guys, Scout Exec and Council Commissioner, this is the acceptance protocols. That's where you sign off on when you want to start the program. But like I said, there's all this stuff on there that is basically there for you to go on and learn about. And then there's a unit service plan PowerPoint that shows you how to take these applications and move them into an actual service plan. So every tool is on there that you need. And eventually, like I said, the unit assessment forms, detailed assessment forms are going to be on there in a couple of days. So if you can go to the my.scouting. Okay. Is everybody familiar with this page? I hope. All right, let me draw out here for a second. This is a few of us at the national office, I guess, got this that are working on the program. But this is kind of what you get when you pull up. And the important things that are on here are the trainings that are coming up. The December ones are not on there yet. They should be soon. There are December ones that have been released, but they're basically webinars where you can go on, kind of like what I'm doing here, with more of the IDG people. They can actually show you just kind of what I'm doing here right now. So if you want some more stuff, it'll show you. So on my.scouting, you'll go into home, and for my dashboard, I go into the National Council. You'll have two functions, depending on your role, and it's basically your level or higher. I mean, your level below. So if you're the council commissioner, you're going to see all the districts in the council. You'll see all the records for the council as well. If you're the district, you're just going to see the district and below. If you're so basically the unit commissioner is just going to see their units, depending on what they're given as far as their assignments. So under commissioner administration, this is what an ADC or a assistant council commissioner might do. See how fast it pulls up. All right, it's working. All right, so this is the very top level, and okay, there's Tico Perez. So this is the very top of the pyramid, right? This is the big sky high looking down. So then you go into individual regions, and help me out as I go through here. What area are you guys in? What's that? Three. You draw it on down, huh? By the way, Mount Diablo is already gone live, so that'd be another council to partner with to help out. Rick Torborch. Oh, I can't remember his name. He was on our Commissioner Tools task force. He'd be a good guy to link up with. All right. Does that look accurate?
No,
It doesn't? Okay.
one of them does.
Yeah. All right, so this is one of the most important parts of this whole system to work. You guys have to go on there and make sure that all of the people that are in positions are in the right positions. And if they're not, then either you fix it or we have to fix it nationally, one of the two.
Okay, so Steve, the question you have to be,
Mhm.
who can fix? So Jeff, council commissioner, can fix the district commissioners.
They can assign district commissioners to individuals.
And if they're wrong, he can change them as well.
Yeah, he can assign them, and I'll kind of show you how to do that. So I'll go into this Bristol Cone District and go to, now, I picked district commissioner, I probably shouldn't have put that, but I could assign units right here, and it'll basically be a pull-down list. It's gonna make me drill all the way back down again for some reason, but I can actually go in and drill down and assign units, and I picked the wrong one.
Area 3.
Just want to show you, I just wanted to show you just so you kind of have a sense of what it looks like.
I understand that the district commissioner can assign unit commissioners.
Mhm.
What I'm asking is if the district commissioner changes, then Jeff has to assign district commissioner.
Yeah, he can actually at that point go back in and assign to that, who's responsible for that district.
Can the district executive or Scott executive make that same adjustment?
The council key 3 can. Now, your council president is not gonna be able to do that for commissioners.
No,
But you and your council commissioner can do that. Make changes. You can have a unit commissioner be responsible for every unit in the whole council if you want that.
nothing else to do.
So anyway, I just wanted to show you the assignment part is really simple, but that's really all you do in that administrative function is assign units. So then I'd go back out into Commissioner Tools right here. There's a training manager, which also is functional as well. And I'm not going to demo from here, like I said, because this is live data. So based on the assessments that have been done so far, National Council is 3.9, and that's with all of the assessments that have been done by units that pull all the way up to the National Council. And you get the same thing by region, depending on how many regions are. So Western Region's 4.2, that shows you how many registered units there are and how many commissioners.
So if it's live data right now,
Mhm.
we could go in and change those now.
But you have to push the button first. I can do it for you on this system right
So
here.
until we finish up this evaluation part,
Mhm.
preparatory, until we say we go live, we can't adjust that.
Yeah, until you turn UBTS off, you can't go and do any adjustments. We got area 3, is that what you said you were?
Maybe three.
All right. And there's a search function here that actually can take you directly to the unit, the council or wherever you want to go. Makes it a little bit quicker. All right, so that shows all your districts there. I don't know what the deleted is. There's probably some little bugs in here. I'll go ahead and show you what's in here just so you look. There's all the reports I talked about, and there'll be some more that'll be added as you go in. There's nothing in these right now because there's nothing there. The resources, whenever you click on the resources, it always puts the level above you to contact people. So this actually has, this is above the council. So it's the area director, area commissioner, area commissioner. So if you're in the district level, it'll show the council key 3. Just wanted to show you that. So that's the big view looking down. Now let me show you the actual, how to actually make a contact. And I'm going to show you, there's 3 different assessments you can do. You can do a detailed assessment, you can do a simple assessment, and you can do an in-between assessment. I'll show you exactly how to do this here in just a second. Okay, so this is the pre-production site that we have available just for training. That's all we use this for. There is another a demo site that has been developed where you individually can go on and play with non-live data, like a play area where you can do what I'm doing here, but for yourself, so you can figure out how everything works. And they clean it out every day. But in order to do that, once you get your council champion for Commissioner Tools, they have to send a request for demo logins. And then you send that to commissionertools@scouting.org. And I'll give you all more information about that later. All right, so here we go. Back to home, going to Commissioner Tools. Hope this will go a little faster, so it's slow. But it's our fault, sure. So I only have the district level of the training part here. So I'll just kind of take you to the one I've already been to before. Once again, it's got the same reports and resources. So I'm going to take you to, let me finish loading here real quick. Or maybe not. I'll just go back in. All right, so this is this unit, pack 160. I've basically played in this system quite a bit, so there's going to be some things in there. But once again, when you go in here initially, all you're going to see is the stuff over here. That's basically, there was a signed commissioner for that. You're going to see all these buttons here, and you're going to see who the commissioner is, and there won't be a last contact if you haven't had a contact yet. So here's the health indicators, finance program, leadership and governance, and training, the four main areas that we look at for Virginia. So once things are put in there, that's what you'll see. So in the archive contact button, if you click on that, that has all the unit visit tracking system records that you can look at from the older system. So the old system was brought over, so you can actually look at stuff in here as well. Each council will also be given, is what I told, a disk that has all those visits recorded on like a disk as well, so you don't have to pull it up like this. So you get it two ways. And then, of course, resources for this district would be the district key 3. So pull up there. And then district executives, may not be done with here. This has the district commissioner, the district chairman, as resources, their email address, and their telephone number. All right, so let's go into making a contact, all right? So you just click on new contact, so you've actually made a visit to a unit. And you're going to go in here and say, okay, here's the pull down screen. So what was it? Was it a unit meeting, committee leader meeting, unit key 3, unit activity, unit parent meeting, or other? So you have a pull down and actually suggest a list of what kind of meeting it was. This is the commissioner that I'm portraying right now, John Bertotti. But John also has this list here. So there's a visiting commissioner that actually visited this unit. There's a pull down list with all their numbers as well as their contacts that they can actually put those individuals in there if they're a visiting commissioner or actually visited this unit, but it wasn't their unit. And then at the bottom, there's one for professionals, so the professional could actually enter a visit as well. And then you select the date of contact, and then if you look here, if you go back, you can only go back 45 days, as far back as you can go. You can't go back any further than that to make a visit. So once that 45 days is up, you can't do any more visits. Then if you want to schedule, let me show you what you do here. So if you want to do something in the future, so you're going to want to do this when you do the detailed assessment. So let's do you're going to do a visit for this unit, pack 160, on December the 30th. And then what pops up is the unit key 3, all right there, and all their email addresses. And then there's a button down here at the bottom that says send unit assessment to key 3. So this actually will send an assessment from the unit commissioner directly to all the key 3 members, where they can go through and they can write detailed information about their pack and how they think they're doing. Now, the few things that, I guess the best methods we've gotten from this, from the councils that have used this, they've said that it's better to send a communication prior to sending out an email, because the email, they're not really sure who this email is coming from. It doesn't, and I haven't seen how it looks, but so either the national office sends out an email to all your unit leaders, unit key 3 you to say, this is about to happen, we turn it over to this new system, and you're gonna get an email from your youth commissioner, or you do it through the council commissioner, send out a message basically saying, this is coming. Because otherwise, they're surprised and they may not know what to do. That's some of the best methods that we've been finding that people have decided to do.
Steve, who maintains all the unit sheets? There's changes in leadership of a pack or troop. Who's the individual that updates that 160 unit?
Well, the unit key 3 could do it.
Okay, so it's the, okay.
And if the unit key 3 is all replaced, then obviously, they're gonna have to, the district executive will have to do it.
I'm not gonna help you.
Yeah. And of course, there's still the application process gonna change as well.
So when somebody turns in an application, it's just a normal static pool that will also change it then?
It pulls it in, I think several times a day. It pulls in the library.
So it's system reported for us as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main part, but you can actually go in and move leaders around and things like that. You can set up your own structure, but that's through my.scouting already. They can set up their own structure. So sorry to explain that real well. Okay, so if I push that button, it would send it to the leader somewhere down the line. So,
Steve, when the leader gets that assessment, if they complete it, does it flow back up or is it just for them to use?
yeah, there's a certain point, like I said, you set that meeting up already, so you're gonna go meet with that unit key 3 at some time after they fill out that information. So you prep them, say, I want you to fill this out. I mean, another phone call may be necessary at that point in time to make sure that they're ready for you to come. But that's the process, and I guess as we move forward, it'll get more natural as we do it, several, you're only gonna do this twice a year. So let me go into new contact here real quick.
Yeah, limitations.
All right, so here we got, in here, you've got the detailed assessment and the simple assessment. Let me just show you what the simple assessment looks like. This is familiar? It's basically UBTS. That's what it was before. So you go in here and put a rating, you can make comments, that's your simple assessment. Most councils that have taken this on as a beta, the commissioner tools, have decided that for the first month, they're just doing simple assessments. And that's worked pretty well for most people until you get used to the unit being sent on this stuff. Then I could go in, I could rate this unit, and then you obviously have to put this in as well.
Just to clarify, 5 is being the best score.
5 is high.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 is low. So obviously, going, and that's the simple assessment. I have to go back out to go into the detailed assessment. And you can go back, you have to have these completed in 60 days. Once you start it, after 60 days, you have to have it completed.
What do you mean by completed? Where you start the assessment?
When you go through and answer every question, I'll show you as we go through the detailed assessment. You have to answer every question. But then I'll show you actually how there's a detailed assessment and there's an in-between. There's a medium assessment as well. So if you're going in and talk to a unit and all you're talking to them about is their finances, you can go in and do a finance assessment only for that unit and skip all the leadership of governments and training and everything else. So if you wanted to, you can actually print these assessment forms, but when you print them, it's going to have the unit information in there. So this first part here is just review data. It's not really you're not really assessing anything, but you click on that and it has live data that was run 11/20 at 7:31 a.m. in the morning. It has all the current YPTs, the expired, never taken, training dates, leaders not trained. These are all the leaders that are not trained. Lists all their names. It's a pretty bad unit. All the YPT status, and then there's the membership numbers at the bottom. So this just kind of gives you a start. And this is all part of the training manager. So this data is fed directly from training manager on into the system. Once advancement is live, advancement will pull in here as well at another place somewhere on here. Should be a longer page. Okay, so I've looked at that. I should have gone back the other way. But
So
this,
is advancement with phase 2 or version 2 or whatever?
they were waiting to do commissioner tools, to finish commissioner tools and start advancement. So advancement will be, they'll be finishing that up fairly shortly. See, if you click off of this, you have to answer at the bottom of this that you've done this. So it says so what I would have to do is at the bottom here, I would have to say that I've actually looked at all this. Oh, that's not in here. There it is, done. Okay. Now it says I've completed that, right? Finance function, like I said, is straight from day to JTE. If you want to not have a calculated score, just do a down and dirty score for this under finance, you can just put a 5 to a 1.0 all the way to 0.5s. Or if you want to calculate a score, you just leave that up there like that, and you actually go in and fill out. There's only one for this. This tells you kind of what this is. The PAC has a budget that is continually reviewed by the committee and follows the BSA policy related to fundraising and fiscal management, straight out of JTE. So nearly ideal, making progress. Typical unit could be improved, needs improvement is a 2. And 1 is weak situation, needs immediate action. So yeah, I have to click on one of those. So click on that. And that has the finance that popped up there immediately at a 4. And then of course you can put notes in there for what that was all about. Finance and one other has more detail in it as far as what you can do, because there's less questions, they put that in there, but this actually has an action plan you can put in here. That's part of the assessment when you actually have the unit service plan. So the action needed would be part of the unit service plan. Accountability, who's going to help with this? Is it district committee? Is it the FOS chairman for the district? Is it, who actually is going to help with that? Target completion date and an actual completed date once you follow up with that. You can put a date in there for that. So once I'm done with that, you click done again, and I've completed that. Then you go into membership. There's a few more questions under membership. Once again, there's the calculated or non-calculated score. Retention question. We'll say their typical unit. Building Cub Scout. Do they have the average size packet recharter time? Annual charter renewal process. Complete charter renewal. Obtain all signatures. Submit paperwork to the council office or your commissioner prior to the expiration of the charter. And once again, this detailed assessment is only done twice a year. So the rest of the time you're in there, you may do like a simple score of one item in the detailed assessment, but you're never going to go back in here and do a full detailed assessment because that is only for sitting down with that unit leader and kind of developing a unit service plan.
Steve, is there any provision for a unit to a self-assessment?
Yeah, that's what you send them. You send that.
So they're gonna self-assess it, and then you're gonna enter their information on this sheet?
You're going to compare the 2 sheets.
Okay.
You will actually find out what they put in. You will know.
So they can do it online themselves, so.
Mhm.
And so you can bring that up yourself and look at it, or do your assessment and bring it.
Right, they don't see what you put in until you sit down with it.
Okay.
And then of course, here's the action needed accountability, just kind of, but the only thing this one doesn't have, this has, they put that in the target completion date, so. I put enough in there to complete that. And then there's program, I won't go through all of these, just, and like I said, they're all JT, straight out of the JT questions for PAC. This is all about program, service project, fitness, PAC and DIN meetings, and then action, accountability, target dates, and completion date. Once again, that's the service plan aspect of that. And I didn't answer all the questions on that one, so it's not gonna, it won't let me go forward.
So when you said you have 60 days to complete it, are you talking about 60 days to complete that process that you started there?
Yeah, once you've started, you have 60 days to complete it. So like if I went out of here, let me go out of here and just kind of show you what I've done here. If I go out of there, this is gonna show up down here somewhere at the bottom. So there it is. So there it is right there. This is the one we just did. Actually, I scheduled that one. There's one in progress. So the three dots across means it hasn't been finished. So you go back in there and we'll rework it and finish it. If you don't have all the details you need to finish it, then like I said, it gives you a little extra time to do that.
Okay.
I kind of hung it up a little bit there. All right, so let me show you some of the other functions of this. So you understand there's a detailed assessment, there's an in-between assessment, and then there's a quick assessment, the simple assessment. Those are the three assessments that can be performed here. And that's all you can do in that area of your units that are right here. I guess everybody understands that D stands for district, C stands for council, R region, and all that, but you won't all see that information. So the other part of this is roundtable. On the roundtable part, and people always ask, do we have to use this form if we have a really good form we're using already for tracking? You don't have to use this. This was something that was brought up by roundtable commissioners that said, this is the forms I use, I want to have this functionality, I want to be able to put this stuff in there. So obviously you're going to do this for a district, so we're doing it for Brushy Run. The last one they did, they had 24% attendance. This is one I did a demo of last Monday. I did this for a council, so I actually put all this information in there. So this is one that's in progress, and that's the one that was completed on October 9th. And there's some more down here too. So once again, resources is going to have the similar stuff. Going to have the district key 3 in there. And then if you click on new roundtable, it's going to pull up the date of the roundtable. And then there'll be a pick list for all the, if it was PAC only, then you just select PAC. If it was PAC troop, team, and crew, and then Sea Scouting, they're all together in one roundtable, then you get a pick down list for every one of those. It's not letting me go down there, I've got to go back here first. So the facilitator doesn't have to be the roundtable chairman. It can be whoever they can designate more than one person as well. They can go in here to keep these records. All right, well, it's not letting me do these for some reason. Oh, there it is, okay. A little slow. So there's the facilitator would be from a pick list, or they would just automatically populate up there. That's the date of the roundtable. So we're just going to say that's tonight. We're just going to do Cub Scout pack, and then we're going to open the roundtable forum. And so here it's got the date, and it's got you can do Cub Scout attendance, and then there's all your Cub Scout packs. You put how many people came from each of the pack. There's not a place to put in names. It doesn't have that functionality. It would just, I mean, that may be a future release, but it's not in this release. You can also put in the total Cub Scout attendance. You can put in how many commissioners are there, how many committee members are there, other guests, and then it'll calculate the percent for you right there. I'll put one thing in to see if it'll make it done. You know, we're still working on the buttons because the buttons need to be on the top and the bottom. We've talked about that as a fix, and we're hoping they're going to fix that. I don't like the scroll feature as much. So anyway, that's the roundtable form. Like I said, use it, don't use it. There's also a place you can put in there, you can put notes in there for what happened at the roundtable. Eventually there'll be files you can download in there, but that'll be in another version. So you actually put presentations that were done, you can actually drop them in there, but that'll be a future functionality. Under Commissioner Profile, this is all about that individual commissioner that's up there. So this is John Bertotti, who I'm masquerading as right now. It will tell kind of how active he's been. And of course, he's looking at his own stuff here, but above him, you can look at this as well. If you're the district commissioner or the assistant district commissioner, you can look at all the stuff. You'll be able to scroll over here and find out all the training that John's done. And what type of contacts John has done over the course of the year. And that's the commissioner profile. It's kind of just a simple down and dirty look at that unit commissioner. This area was added just recently. It's a discussion area. The discussion area basically is if you're say an assistant district commissioner and you want your commissioners to focus in on a certain thing after that meeting, they'll say, make sure your discussion guide with the units when you meet with this next month, if they're PACs, we want them to make sure that they're selling popcorn. And that's really not a function for unit commissioners, so I probably shouldn't say that one. But we want them to come to the district plan with dirt. So that would be something you might put in there. Just little notes that they can put in there of future things you can talk about in future visits. And so here, this one here is talking about annual plan. That was what they wanted to discuss on that. So here you have the discussion title, the annual plan, the date, topic of discussion, what they talked about, and then you can add subcategories for the topics as well. So that's the basic down and dirty for how to do the different visits. I'm going to go back here real quick to show you the actual forms, so you can see the forms as they're printed out. I'm going to go in. I'll just go to the contact, kind of show what they look like. So basically, everything that was put into these forms and the ratings and the notes, you can print out into one form and say, this is my detailed assessment for this unit. And as well as the self-assessment that the unit's doing, you can print that out as well. So I'm going to go into detailed assessment again. And then there'll be two areas here. It'll be the print commissioner assessment form. Let's go to the unit assessments. You haven't seen that. The unit assessment form is identical, except it says unit in there instead of commissioner. So it has the data that's already in there, the youth protection training, the regular training, how many members are there. There's the finance report. So this basically puts it into one package. So like I said, if you had someone that couldn't do the computer part of that, they could print this out, fill it out, and then someone else could enter the information for them if they hand filled it out, as opposed to it this way. So, and there's a place for the unit comments, so when the unit does their self-assessment, these comments will all be generated down here. So once they do that and they send it back, all this will be populated from the unit assessment. Go back in here. So, like I said, you print both of those forms. Okay, are there any questions of the stuff I've talked about here tonight? Yes, sir.
Steve, as I understand it, before our commissioners can start using this, the council has to go through an acceptance protocol, and there's a number of things we need to do on the council level before this becomes live at the council and district level.
Correct. Yeah, you have to fill out this. You need a council champion. That's one part of it. Basically, somebody, and probably a staff person as well that can work with the council champion as a volunteer, and that'll be the go-to person that makes sure that everybody's trained and all that kind of stuff is done. But this right here, the Scott Executive and Council Commissioner Acceptance Protocols, you click on that. That basically has all the preparation stuff that you should have done prior to this. I mean, all this stuff doesn't have to be done, but it's just a guide for you to make sure you've gone through all the steps and you know kind of what's expected to be able to make this successful.
So for everyone that's here tonight, don't go home on your computer and try to find all the things that Steve was just doing, because they're not going to be there yet.
No.
Because we haven't gone live as a council yet.
But you can go into that PowerPoint that I showed you, and you can go through the PowerPoint again, and it might generate some more questions. It's a lot more detail than what I went through, and it has screenshots of things that you just saw up here. It kind of has the same functionality, but you can figure out, okay, this is what I need to do to go through this, and kind of work your way through it.
Now, until we go live as a council on this, they should still be using the unit visitation tracking
Exactly.
system just as before.
Yeah, because that's still gonna count toward your JTE score. So as soon as you turn off, then of course you're not doing UBTS anymore, you're doing commissioner tools.
Right.
But those numbers will count towards your overall
And
JT score.
if they've made visits, it's important that they get them logged in, because once we go to the commissioner tools, they won't be able to go back in and log those.
Once
visits.
UBTS is turned off, it's turned off for good. You can't go back in. That's important to know.
Steve, quite a few people in here are gonna have some editorial access, some Grand Poobah access. Can you show, some of the behind the scenes stuff that they would use for, say,
See the highlight?
selecting commissioners and assigning commissioners and.
Well, I kind of went through the assigning commissioners part. I don't think I drilled all the way down into the. But yeah, but the unit commissioner is not gonna have the administrative functionality. It's only that person at that level, administrative commissioner level that will have the, commissioner administration.
How do we get unit commissioner access?
If you're registered as a unit commissioner and you sign on to commissioner tools and you're assigned units by your administrative commissioner, you'll be able to start. That answer your question?
But we have to do that once the council is live too.
What's that?
Well, you couldn't go into the commissioner tools and start logging these kinds of visits until the council was up and
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the council has to accept it first and sign off, and then it goes live, and then the administrative commissioner will assign units to each unit commissioner, and then it'll pop up. When you go into my.scouting, that'll pop up as your profile, and you'll be able to see all that stuff that I just showed, just for those individual units.
So when do you anticipate the Nevada council accepting this, or have they already?
That's up to you guys.
Okay, that's up to,
That's up to your council commissioner. Scott is
My feeling is probably later rather than sooner, just so we can get everybody up to speed, get more training out, help people understand how it works. So I'm thinking we're probably looking at the February or March start date. We haven't made that a final decision, but that would be my recommendation. Unless some of you think otherwise.
For my own personal bias, I'm coming into this new, so if you make me learn an old system just to learn a new one, I would be thoroughly annoyed. So to put it bluntly, I
I
probably
don't
won't
want
touch
to
it.
thoroughly annoy you.
I probably won't touch the old system until the new one comes online. Especially since I.
Well, one of the things that you can do is, as you're making visits, we can maybe print out the sheets. And then once we do go live, go in and log them all in.
And you said we have 45-day windows to do that?
Yes,
Yeah, 45 days.
the day of the visit.
How's that how it works?
Yeah, see, if it's 2 months later, he's not gonna be able to enter.
So you
Unless you just
have
do it So UBTS, you're gonna have to do that sometime, so what?
But if I understand things correctly, though, once we commit, there's no overlap of the two systems.
No.
It's just one, and then the next day the other's on.
Right.
Okay.
And just to understand this, because I have this question a lot. JTE is not tied in with this system. Now, there are some functionalities that come together, but this doesn't populate your JTE score. That's still, I think they're still hand counting that until all that stuff is cross-functional. And they wanted it that way, but we said, they wanted it in here to say, well, this unit is gold based on what it's doing. Now, there's a place in there to put, I think, this unit should fall gold, silver, or bronze. But those two systems have not married each other yet. that it will come eventually when Kayla and all that stuff is transferred and all that data is working the right way. But just make sure you understand, this is a subjective information. This is your opinion on this unit that you visited. It's not, so it's,
And the units don't get to see your commentary.
The units don't see the commentary. unless you want to print this out and sit down and show it to them, or get on a computer and show it to them.
Is there any reason why we would go later, in your opinion, than say earlier, other than the fact of just not training and, I mean,
Well, it's a training, and it's I'd stay out of recharter time if you can.
Okay.
Because it's going to get a little convoluted if you because you're switching over people and data at the same time that you're doing that, and it could get a little messy. So we've talked to councils basically about trying to stay away from recharter time. When do you guys recharter?
it's starting, we're now,
Okay. So January might be a good time for you guys to
our drop date is 31st of January.
okay. Well, then February might be good for you guys.
So I think it's, from a commissioner's point of view, it's a little tempting when you have things like this to get focused on the tool, focused on the program, focused on the technology, and really a unit commissioner should be focused on the unit and the boys that unit is serving. And so our mission still needs to be primarily to visit those units and develop a rapport and a relationship with them, be able to help them, get them directed towards district resources where they need it. And all of the unit visitation tracking system, the commissioner tools, they're there to help us keep track of that. They're there to provide kind of a chain of command, I guess, if you will, so that district commissioners can see what's going on at unit levels and on up the line to the council. But our mission is still to be the coach, counselor, friend, liaison with the unit, not just fill out these computer programs. As great as they are as tools, we need to use them as a tool to help us, but not become so all-consumed that that's what it's all about. It's all about that relationship that you have with the Cub Master or Scout Master in serving their unit.
That's exactly right. 'Cause I'm actually a unit commissioner in a unit, or 3 units in my, where I live. And I don't feel right now I have that relationship where I can go in and start saying, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna have to build that relationship in order to get there, because they don't really look at JTE. They're a really strong unit, but they don't look at JTE. So it is gonna be a thing that you're gonna have to build that relationship to get that trust to say, listen, this isn't a spy thing. This isn't about, us saying, you guys aren't doing a good job, we're gonna come in there and fix your problems. This is about making sure kids stay in the scouting program. That's all it's about. And, but like I said, that's gonna take time to develop that. And in the meantime, you do simple assessments until you get to the point where you've got that relationship. You can do those detailed assessments and make a difference and have that unit service plan put together. So it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be fantastic. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
excited.
great tool. I would take a unit commissioner that's really being helpful to their unit, but doesn't own a computer. I'd take that person over a computer whiz, but has no relationship with the unit.
I agree. There's always people that can enter data.
But I think the great thing that you've done, Steve, with this is you still left it open for the inept person with the computer. You print the form just as easy and hand it to the commissioner that doesn't want to do that.
Exactly.
And you can still have essentially even the secretary for the district, the commissioners still put stuff in, nobody wants to take that role on, but it's an option that still exists for us at least.
But go through these forms on here, like the Q&A. The Q&A answers a lot of questions. Some questions you don't even think about asking. About all of the platforms this is good on. It's not fit for a Mobi device yet, because it's got some work to do. That'll be version 2 where you can do it on your phone, but it's really hard. I've actually tried it. It works on an iPad, works on all of those smart devices that are out there that have a bigger screen than the phone.
Yeah, we're just fine on my tablet.
Yeah. So go out there, play, enjoy, share.
I'm a carbon paper snail mail person. And I have a good rapport with my unit. I like what I do. Been in it since I was Cub Scout. But I'm excited about this. Because I know, and Pat is, I don't know, the other day they were talking about whether we like it or not, the generation that's coming up is digital. And you got to do this program. This is a good tool, but again, you got to stay connected to our units and have that one-on-one, have that rapport with them. But I'm excited about this. So, that's my 2 cents from a digital dummy.
What we will do, and we'll cycle this through the district commissioners, is we'll give you a list of all of the resources that are available to you, some of the trainings that you can take. We'll probably conduct some throughout the council as well. And I suspect we're going to be learning as we go on this, and it'll take a while to phase in. We just want to keep working with those units. So pay close attention to your emails, particularly those that come from your district commissioner that will give you more on this. But the way I am with new technology, it's always a little hard for me to figure out and make sense out of a system until I'm actually able to pull it up and kind of play around with it a little bit and push the buttons myself and see, oh, well, that's how that works.
Yeah, it's very intuitive. Like I said, it's very intuitive.
Until you're able to do that, it's hard for me to learn new systems. I'm probably not alone in that. And we'll let you know as soon as things are up and live on it.
Once again, if you guys want demo accounts, I mean, I can't give you a ton of them because I think it upsets us. I don't know the whole reason, but if you go and use the council commissioner, go in and go to commissioner tools at scouting.org and request some demo accounts, they'll give them to you. Y'all can share them and have, your administrative commissioners kind of play with it for a little bit and then, move on down. So. And I'll give everybody here my business card as well. So if you have any other questions, pick up the phone and give me a call, and be glad to help out. Since I was actually here tonight, did you get that promise from me? So.
Does anyone have any other questions for Steve?
Steve, the last question I have for you is, this is changing the way a commissioner reports on things so much. Is there going to be a new syllabus for training for commissioners?
Well, right now, our people are going through and they're, this is on our commissioner task force. We have a training group that works with that as well, that does all the Philmont training and C-based training and all the training syllabus. If you've ever have you guys seen the number of trainings that are on the commissioner website? There's training for every single college of commissioner science, and if you dig down into the zip files, any kind of training you could ever imagine is in there. I mean, there's probably, I bet there's close to 100 trainings in there. PowerPoints, not just PowerPoint, but other ways to train, the other training methods, group discussion. It basically gives you a syllabus to sit down by yourself and go through and put a training together at a college commissioner science. So go in there and explore, but all those trainings are being changed to have commissioner tools in there, to have the unit service plan as part of that. Also all the resources that are online right now are probably, most of those are going to go away because they're obsolete. And commissioner tools is going to replace, kind of the functionality of how we do our business as unit commissioners now. So the tools and the trainings are all going to be a little bit different now. Now, still going to be the relationship building is going to be the most important part of that, but the tools we have to help us with our job are going to be a lot more expansive. which is going to be really exciting.
Thank you.
Steve, on behalf of our council, I thank you for coming out. I
Yeah,
know you're cruising through, stopping here tonight and taking time, one extra night away from family and everything. We appreciate you spending the time with us, and
no, glad I could stop by. Absolutely.
I'd like to share this book, Legacy of Honor, with you.
Oh, thank you.
So I don't know if you have this copy, but
I don't think I do.
so it's a great
Oh,
book.
awesome.
So, but if anyone has questions or wants to talk to Steve offline or anything like that, feel free. I'm sure we'll be around for just a few minutes.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, email me or call me on the phone or whatever. I'll be glad to help you out. Guys, you have a right with it.
Great. Thank you very much. Let's
Thank
give
you.
Steve a big hand. I know some of you drove ways to get here, so we will